Hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome to my subscriber chart. It's Sunday morning here, and our local time is 6:53 a.m., which is the UK time. Once again, you're with another subscribers lesson, and today we're going to, learn some verbs, and if we have got time, possibly a tense. Very often, many of our learners are confused about using the tense correctly. Remember, dear viewers, tense is one of the important parts of English grammar. If you are expert or if you are a good user, then possibly you know most of the grammar parts, because tense is related to gender, and tense is also related to person, like first person, second person, third person. Tense is also related to number, like singular number, plural number. Tense is also related to parts of speech, like noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, conjunction, interjection, and preposition. And also it is indirectly related to voice and narration. Okay, so let's move on. And we're also going to discuss these two words, say and tell. Very often we get confused when we try to use in our daily life. Okay. So, dear viewers, once again, before that, we'd like to listen to some BBC podcasts, which will be helpful for your, listening skill.
Six-minute English from bbclearningenglish.com.
Hello, this is 6-Minute English from BBC Learning English. I'm Neil.
And I'm Sam.
Over the past 18 months, we've heard a lot about the human immune system, the cells in our bodies that fight diseases like coronavirus. We know that in humans, the bloodstream carries immune cells around our body.
But what about trees and plants? They don't have blood, so how do they protect themselves?
That's a good question, Sam. And the answer involves memory. Us humans store memories in our brain, but our body also remembers things, including stressful situations from the past, which it stores in our genes. The information gets passed on to our children genetically.
But surely trees don't have memories, Neil. I mean, do you think a tree can remember being young or what it was doing last year?
Well, not exactly, but trees grow rings, a layer of wood for each year of growth. That could be a kind of memory.
In this program, we'll be asking whether trees can remember, and if so, does it make them stronger and better able to fight disease?
But before that, I have a question for you, Sam. As I said, trees grow a new ring every year, and by counting them, we can estimate their age. One of Earth's longest living trees is the great bristlecone pine, found on the west coast of America. But how long can these trees live? Is it A, over 1,000 years, B, over 3,000 years, or C, over 5,000 years?
Wow, it'd be a job to count the rings on those trees. I'll say B, over 3,000 years.
Okay, Sam, we'll reveal the correct answer later.
Unlike us, trees don't have blood and bones to protect them from outside attacks. So how exactly does a tree's immune system work?
That's what BBC World Service programme Crowd Science asked bioscientist Jurien Ton. Here's what he said.
Plants in particular need to have a very efficient immune system for two important reasons. Firstly, they sit at the bottom of the food chain, so there are a lot of opportunistic organisms out there, including insect herbivores and microbial pathogens. We want to tap into that biochemical energy that is stored in plants. The other reason is plants are rooted to the ground. They cannot escape from the stressful conditions in their environment.
It's hard for trees to protect themselves. Unlike animals, they can't run away, and they're at the bottom of the food chain. The plants and animals linked in a chain of eating weaker things and then being eaten by stronger ones.
Rabbits eat grass and in turn are eaten by foxes.
Right. If you're at the bottom of the food chain, everything wants to eat you, including opportunistic animals. If something is opportunistic, it takes advantage of a situation to gain some benefit for itself. Tree leaves are opportunities for hungry insects and caterpillars to eat.
So trees need immunity because they're under attack, either from disease or from living things wanting to eat them. But what about memory?
If trees can remember stress, types of insects that eat it, for example, they might be better prepared in future.
For me, stress is a work deadline or moving house, but for trees it's more basic, something like not getting enough water.
Dr. Estrella Luna Diaz believes trees record stress in their rings. A small ring, showing that the tree didn't grow much that year, indicates some outside stress. She explained more to BBC World Service programme Crowd Science.
Our hypothesis would be that depending on the level of that stress, so if it was a really long-lasting drought of a few years, then maybe the tree can remember it for a long time because it needs to adapt to that hostile environment. Now, maybe the hypothesis could be the other way around. Like if maybe it was a very dry July, for instance, maybe the tree is not even that bothered, and then it forgets within 1 year because that memory of stress is going to be holding it back on its growth, for instance.
Dr. Luna Diaz has a hypothesis, an idea that explains how or why something happens, which has yet to be tested to see if it's correct.
Her hypothesis is that trees remember stressful outside events, something like a drought, a long period of time with little or no rain.
For a tree which has lived for hundreds of years, it might be useful to remember that 1947 was a very dry summer.
On the other hand, maybe that stressful year is best forgotten. Maybe the tree is not bothered, not worried or concerned because it's not important to it.
So trees do have memories, but they don't let it get them stressed.
Maybe that's the secret to a long life. But what's the answer to your question, Neil?
Yes, I asked you how long Earth's oldest trees, great bristlecone pines, can live.
I said B, over 3,000 years. Was I right?
You were wrong, I'm afraid, Sam. They live even longer, over 5,000 years, in fact, all the way back to the Bronze Age.
What memories those trees must have. If only they could speak. Right, let's recap the vocabulary we've learned, starting with immune system, the body's way of fighting infection and disease.
A food chain describes how plants and animals get eaten and eat each other.
Opportunistic people take advantage of a situation to get some benefit for themselves.
A hypothesis is an idea to explain how or why something happens that hasn't been tested to see if it's correct.
A drought is a long period of time with little or no rain.
And finally, if you're not bothered about something, you're not worried because it's not important to you.
Our 6 minutes are over. Bye for now.
Bye.
6 Minutes English from the BBC.
Okay, Devious, that was the very cool discussion from the 6 Minutes English of BBC World Service. Very often I try to bring this type of audio podcast so that our learners can listen to it carefully and understand. It helps us few things. Number one, improving the listening skills. Number two, improving the understanding of grammar structures, how grammars are built up and they are used in correct ways. And also very often they tell us different kinds of vocabulary and their explanation and how it may be used. Okay, today we got drought, like when there is no rain. A few other vocabulary where they are in the topics, and another one is hypothesis. I'm sure people who study science many a times they might have seen this word hypothesis. Hypothesis is like a theory which has not been proven yet. Okay, so let's move on to today's main lesson, which is the using of the two verbs say and tell. So how we are going to use it? We've got rule here. We have to use first person, second person, and third person, and we have to make negative, interrogative, then WH question, and if possible tag questions. So I'm sure dear viewers, you know about this first person, in second person and third person. The concept of person is that anything and everything, every action, every incident, every occurrence of the world is done by different kind of presence of subject. The subjects are called persons, and in the first person singular number is I, and the plural number is we, and the second person singular and plural is you. We have to bear in mind when you're using second person, it should be always treated as plural. Though in English language or English grammar, it can mean one person as a singular, but grammatically and according to the grammar and linguistic rules, we have to use as a plural number. Okay, and that is a very much important. Otherwise, very often you'll be confused about using correct grammar and correct verbs. And the third person, except I, you, and you, anything and everything in this world is third person. So common third persons are he, she, it, and any name, any person's name, say Jennifer, etc. Singular, and plural is they, like teachers, students, etc. And when we are going to use these two verbs in different patterns with the first person, second person, third person, and I'm sure you'll be able to find out how the sentence patterns are changed and how it has got impact on your writing as well as your speaking. It is important for you and for us to understand it quite well, so that you can make, or you can compose or write, you can say, some meaningful, logical, complete, and sensible sentences. I always use these four words because very often I've noticed that many of our learners, many of our students, when they try to say something or when they try to write something, are not meaningful, not quite logical, and sometimes those sentences do not give any sense at all. It's like they're trying to using the words, on their own, way, which do not, follow any grammatical rules or grammatical patterns. Okay, so which is why we have just to be careful when we're writing any sentences or when we're saying anything at all. Okay, so our first word is say. We have to remember that after say, we always, if there is any subject, we always use to, but after tell, we do not use any preposition. Like I say to you or I told you. For example, I said to you and I told you. For example, okay. So this is an important rule. We say sometimes collocation that after say we use to, and there are hundreds of verbs which follow the collocation rules where you have to use preposition correctly. Other illustrations are like listen to, say to, subscribe to, and depending on the context, like connect to or connect with. We use connect with for humans, a person to another person, but we use connect to with a non-human subject, like my mouse is connected to my laptop, for example. And are you connected with each other? That means when I'm asking any person, if you'd like to know anything else, please connect with me in my lessons. You see, these are some of the examples. So let's move on. Say hello. If you use this sentence, say hello, remember that there is a silent you. You say hello to someone else. Say hello to all the global learners of the Hallo app. Hello and hello. Remember hello. Say hello to Hallo users. A and E is very difficult sounds in English language very often. It might be confused if you don't pay attention, if you don't try to pronounce it correctly. Okay. So next one is, if I use I say hello to all my well wishers. And why don't you say hello to all of your followers? Then if you'd like if you would like to make WS question, okay, I've just given the examples already. A negative question, they don't say hello to unknown people. For instance, she doesn't want to say hello to a stranger. Okay. Students always say hello to their teachers, and vice versa. Now next word is say something. Say something about your childhood. Here is a silent U, like you say something about your childhood. All right. And then you can say, why doesn't Jennifer say something about the incident at her work? So it is a third person singular number with negative interrogative. And then, did you say hello to your boss when you came this morning? Interrogative simply. Next one is, say good morning to all the lovely Hello users around the world. I also say good morning to all of you guys to welcome and greet you. Remember that greeting is the first sentence of the word when you make any live stream, when you try to have a conversation with another person. Like, hello, good morning. Yeah, say good morning, for examples. Okay, and the next one is if you to say third person, she always says good morning to her colleagues. So that is simple sentence. And next one is say for sure. Okay, remember this word is S-U-R-E, is sure.
Sure.
For sure. Okay. So say something for sure. Okay. Say I said to him this incident for sure. I remember it clearly. So these are the some ways. And next one is say no more to drugs. So here is the silent U once again. Say no more to drugs. Or you can say no more to smokes or smoking. Say no more to drinking alcohols. Okay. You can make it a negative interrogative. So when did she say no more about this matter? When did she say no more about this matter? Okay, so I just repeated the sentence so that you can understand it clearly. Say so. Hey, why don't you say so? It's a negative interrogative once again. Why don't you say so? As far as I remember, they didn't say so in the court when they were under the oath. So this is another example. As far as I remember, they did not say so in the court. Okay, this is another example. So if you would like to say so, you must raise your voice and speak loudly. Like if you want to say so, you must your voice speak loudly. Okay, so these are some examples. The next one is say few words. Okay, dear viewers, remember the a few. What's the difference? That's the main purpose of using this word here. A few differences. So basically, few means not many people or things. Remember, both of these words are countable nouns, so it may be used after the plural numbers. But a few words is when you can say not many though, maybe small number, but few means not many. You can say maybe 2 or 3, whereas a few is some in most of the cases. What's the difference between not many and some? Few is negligible in amount. Few, not many. A few, some. So we have to be careful about using these two words. We use few when there are not many, maybe negligible amount. Like I have got few friends in the UK, but I've got a few books about English learning. Okay, so look at the some books, which means, and few means not many friends, maybe 2 or 3, yeah. Or you can say I don't have any friends at all. So this is the explanation of understanding a few and few. So if you want to make sentences, a few words, say a few words about your childhood. So you're using the subject you here. I don't want to say, or I would like to say a few words about this person's characteristics. Jennifer doesn't want to say a few words about unnecessary things. Or if you want to make a WH question, wait, why didn't you say a few words about your boss? Or you can say why it is much likely a good time for you to say about few words about your biography. Okay, so remember that when you make sentences, once again, our sentences must be complete, logical, sensible, meaningful, and understandable. If you make a sentence, once again, which is not complete, which is not logical, which is not understandable and sensible, then you need to know how you can excuse me, write sentences correctly. Okay. Now next is tell. Tell a story. So remember, after tell, we do not use any preposition at all. And this verb tell is sometimes used as a commanding way. Like, my boss told me last week that I should be one time in the office. Okay. Or you can say, my parents told me to be truthful every time. And you can say to your friend, hey man, I'm telling you to be a good person, for example. So tell is, in some cases, it is an advice. Sometimes it's an order. Sometimes it's a request. I told him to be honest. For example, it's an advice. My parents told me to be truthful. It is a suggestion and advice both together. All right. So I don't want to tell you a story about my childhood. So remember, this is an example of tell a story. Hey, who doesn't want to tell a story about the happy incidents, happy moments? This is another way to explain. And you don't need to tell us a cock and bull story. Do you know the meaning of cock and bull story is like an impossible story? So very often you use this, informal phrase, and unbelievable story, cock and bull story. And do you know why you use this word cock and bull story? Because did you ever see that a cock can fight with a bull? No, cock is a kind of chicken or hen. It's not possible for cock to fight this, bull. So that's why when people say that, oh, it's like a cock and bull story, that this man jumped from the 10th floor and still was alive. It's a cock and bull story that he went to the planet Mars. Okay. So the meaning of the cock and bull story is ridiculous, unbelievable, and beyond truth. So unbelievable. So a cock and bull story is an unbelievable, ridiculous, impossible story. So do not tell us a cock and bull story about how he jumped from the 10th floor. So it is not possible for someone to jump from the 10th floor unless he uses a parachute. Okay. All right. Next one is tell a lie. This is one of the common words that we use in tell and lie together. Do not tell a lie is the advice of each and every parent. And I remember when I was a child, my parents always told me not to lie. Always advised, do not tell a lie. Always tell the truth. Truth may be hurtful or maybe, bitter, but still you must tell the truth. Do not tell a lie. Okay. Then Jennifer doesn't like telling lies. Telling a lie if you want to use a lie, that's fine. Telling a lie or telling lies. So tell a lie, and singular from or telling lies. So if I say Jennifer does not tell a lie, or Jennifer does not telling lies. Now we are using plural. Okay. Then tell a joke. My grandpa always tells a joke. But who doesn't like to tell a joke? Look, W's question. Some people never tell a joke. They are always serious. He always tells jokes. Okay. So these are some of the examples. Then tell the truth. Remember, guys, here the TH is unvoiced or non-voiced. If you remember, once again, I'm explaining all of the words or sounds in this world are two categories. One is voiced when you use the vocal cord, and another is unvoiced when we pronounce the words through our mouth by the touch of tongue or tooth or the upper part of the gum or lower part. So upper part or lower part. So truth, when you're saying truth, you'll feel that our tongue touches the truth, or touches, our tongue touches the upper part of the mouth, or maybe tooth as well. So tell us the truth about the incident. Number one. Here you is silent, so you tell us the truth. Okay. Regardless what happens, teachers should tell the truth to his students, and vice versa. Regardless whatever happens in their life, students should tell the truth to their teachers about the homework. Okay, so these are another examples. Similarly, tell a joke. Don't tell a joke about serious thing. Yeah, my colleague Jimmy always tells a joke about his personal life. Telling a joke is sometimes not good. Some people do not take telling a joke seriously, and some people do not like it, for example. All right, and then tell a secret. Similarly, do not tell us your secret of your personal matter. Do not tell us a secret of your personal matter. Okay, they didn't want to tell us that secret. Next one. Hi, Bijo. You're much busy. That's okay. No problem. Thanks for popping by, stopping by. I believe that you're having fantastic time. I'm happy to see you. Hope everything goes well with you. But if you have a few minutes, maybe you can hop on. Do you want me to send you the request to join? After 10 minutes, okay. Sure. Okay, viewers, my subscriber Bijay is here. but he would be joining us after 10 minutes. Okay, just send me open request when you're free. All right, so we're making sentence the word tell a secret, tell a secret. Okay. Sometimes detective agencies do not tell a secret to their enemies. You must not tell a secret of your personal matter. Okay. Hey, why don't they tell a secret about their experiences? Look, there are different kinds of words you can always make with this word, tell and secret. Next one is tell the difference. Can you tell the difference by watching both of the movies? Or you can say, can you tell the difference by reading the poems? They couldn't tell the difference after having a discussion about these two incidents. Sometimes some people can't tell the difference between twins, whether they're brothers or sisters. Okay, so this is another way to use it. Tell the difference and tell the time. Could you please tell me the time? Yes, 7:35 a.m. local time. Uh, it's better to tell the time correctly so that our learners are careful about learning English. This is another example. So dear viewers, these are some of the examples I've given here. Remember that the best way to develop your writing and speaking once again by practicing more. Even though you get the lessons from the best British teachers or American teachers, but at the end of the day, it's you who have to practice a lot. It is you who must develop your style, your skill. No one but you can do that by yourself. You have to get motivated. You have to get inspirations to move ahead. Okay, so let me move. And simple present story. Bijoy is here. After 5 minutes, maybe we can start discussing this one. Dear viewers, remember that simple present or present simple or present indefinite. Okay, in grammar, simple present or present simple or present indefinite is the first tense of present tense of English grammar. So how do you define it is a present simple or simple present? Okay, in many Asian countries, present simple and simple present is called present indefinite as well. So we need to be careful about this. So before that, let me define briefly what is present simple. So the present simple is the base form of the verb. When we do something regularly, regularly, as a part of your habit, we call them habitual facts. A part of a regular routine, we can use present simple. Okay, so For example, I work in Central London, and they go to their classroom. Jennifer comes here very often. It always rains every winter in the UK. So these are some of the examples of present simple or indefinite. Okay, and in order to make negative in present simple, we have to use do not or does not. So when you would like to make a negative sentence in present simple, these are the two words you need to use if there is the main verb. Okay, so when do you use do not? We use do not if it's the first person, second person, and the third person plural numbers. If you remember, we have explained earlier, first person is I and we, second person is you, and third person singular is like he, she, any names, student, teacher, school, college, it. But if it is plural, like they, teachers, students, schools, colleges, we use do not. So I do not, for example, we do not, you do not, they do not, teachers do not, okay, students do not, etc. And now for the singular number, third person is he, she, it, any name, like he does not or he doesn't, she does not or she doesn't. Okay, Jennifer does not or Jennifer doesn't. Both way it is possible to make negative sentence. So that is the basic difference. Now, this is a story of present simple. Hank is a cowboy. He lives on a farm. He has a horse named Ginger. Hank loves Ginger. He rides Ginger every day. Sometimes they walk slowly and sometimes they run fast. They always have good time. JPS, once again, remember that the word fast is a British way, a British accent, a British pronunciation. But Americans do not say fast; they say fast. That is one of the basic difference between the British pronunciation and American pronunciation. You need to be careful. Similarly, ask, we says ask, they said ask. Okay. Then some other words are like I'm trying to find out what are the other words. Blast, blast. So fast, ask, blast. So the best way to remember is when you go to see a doctor, especially a dentist, and dentist will always ask you to open your mouth like ah. That ah sound should be in these words. Vowel sounds ah, like fast, ask, blast, dust, etc. So this is the way we have to practice. So Hank is a cowboy. He lives on a farm. He has a horse named Ginger. Hank loves Ginger. He rides Ginger every day. Sometimes they walk slowly and some they run fast. They always have a good time. Ginger is Hank's horse. She's light brown. So you have noticed that they have used she. If it is a she, that means it's a female horse. So Ginger is Hank's horse. She is light brown. Her tail and mane are dark brown. She's 3 years old. She lives in the stable by the house. So stable, what does it mean, guys? Stable has got quite a few meanings. In this case, where animals are kept. as a noun, especially horses. A building in which horses are kept, we call them stable. Okay, it's a noun. It can be used as an adjective as well, like firmly fixed or not like to move or change. If the foundation of the house are unstable, collapse is possible. After several part-time jobs, he's now got a stable job in a bank. Okay, I need to have a stable job in life in order to have good money. For example, the hospital and said she was in stable condition. Okay, which means that her situation is better than before and not worse. All right, so stable can be used also as a verb. So adjective, noun, and verb. So if you want to stable in life, you must follow a consistent routine. All right, stable prices do not change much. Okay, we need to have a stable economy at this moment, though it is not possible because of the pandemic situation, but we need to have it. Okay, so these are some of the examples of stable. Let's move on to the story. Ginger's hank horse, she's light brown. Her tail and mane are dark brown. What does mane mean here, guys? Mane. Okay, let's find it. Mane is the part of the horse's body. Mane.
Mane.
The long, thick hair that grows along the top of a horse's neck, around the face and neck of a lion. We call it mane. The long, thick hair that grows along the top of a horse's neck or around the face and neck of a lion. Okay. I think Bija is still busy. She's 3 years old. She's 3 years old. She's 3 years old. She lives in the stable by the house. So stable is the place where horses are kept in a farmhouse. Ginger waits for Hank every morning. She enjoys that time together. Often, sometimes in Australia and the US, this is oftentimes, similar meanings. Oftentimes or often or often, all are correct. Often, Hank gives her apples. After long rides, Hank always washes and brushes Ginger. He usually brushes her tail, then he gives her food and fresh water. Ginger loves Hank. So that's a tiny story. And after that, there is question. Answer the following question is the simple present tense. Where does Hank live? What does he do every day? I've also forgot. Where does Hank live? Hank lives in a stable. That is the amazing part. Stable. Stable.
Main.
And what was the next question? Who is Ginger? Where does Ginger live? Ginger is the horse's name of Hank. She lives in the stable as well. That's the question number 2. So this is done. This is done too. What does Hank often give Ginger? What does Hank do after long rides? So let's read the paragraph one more time. She's light brown, her tail and mane are dark brown. She's 3 years old. She lives in a stable by the house. Ginger waits to Hank every morning. She enjoys their time together. Often Hank gives her apples. After long rides, Hank always washes and brushes Ginger. He usually brushes her tail. Then he gives her food and fresh water. Ginger loves Hank. So Ginger is the name of the so often Hank gives Ginger water, apples, and when Hank comes back after the ride every time, then he gives her food and fresh water. Hank gives her after long rides. Hank always washes and brushes Ginger. So after the long rides, Hank always washes and brushes Ginger. He usually brushes her tail. Then he gives her food and fresh water, and Ginger loves Hank. Great. So rewrite the following sentence like negative, yes, no question like interrogative, and WH question like when, who, which, what, and how. And tag question. So Hank loves Ginger. I'm sorry, not Ginger. Hank loves Ginger. Hank doesn't love Ginger at all. Does Hank love Ginger? Remember, guys, if you want to make it a question mark, you have to bring do not or does not in the present form, depending on the sentence and the subject and the verb. Okay. So the here main sentence is Hank loves Ginger. So Hank doesn't love Ginger. We're making a negative sentence. Does Hank love Ginger? We have to remember Hank is a third person singular number. That's why we have to use doesn't rather than do not. Okay. And then WS question, why doesn't Hank love Ginger, for instance? If you remember tag question is the question when it starts with a simple positive sentence and it becomes negative in the end, and vice versa. Vice versa means when it starts with a negative sentence at the beginning, it will be positive sentences at the end. So Hank loves Ginger, doesn't he? Here where there is a does silently. Okay, that's why we have to use doesn't he. She's 3 years old. Negative. It's very easy. Just add a not. She's not 3 years old. And yes, no question is like question mark. Like you can say, why is 3 years old? Why is she 3 years old? Okay, W is question. How is she, not she does, sorry. Remember that if there is, am, are, then we have to bring this verb to make it an interrogative sentence. Like, is she 3 years old? Okay. And why is she 3 years old, you can say. Another WS question. Okay, and that question, she is 3 years old, isn't she? Now, if you want to make it negative, she's not 3 years old, then we have to make it a simple, is she? Question number 3, she enjoys their time together. Negative. If you would like to make it a negative sentence, simply use does not. She does not enjoy the time together. Again, if it is an interrogative question, bring the main verb at the front. Doesn't she enjoy the time together? Okay, so that's the question. We've got 5 more minutes. Now, W's question, she enjoys that time together. How does she enjoy that time together? So we have used how here. And third question, she enjoys that time together, doesn't she? All right, the next one is, oh, it's just finished. No, it's not. That part is finished. Read the description and write down what it is. Use the words in the box for help. It is what we eat. What is it? So from this box, you have to find out the words that is our food. Cowboy, horse, farm, house, mane, tail, food, stable, apple, morning. Okay, it is what we eat, that is food. We always eat food. It's a building where we live. What is it? It's a house. Okay.
Food.
We have to remember, dear viewers, food, this double is longer sound, food. But when you say good, it is not good, it is good. So good food. Look at the two different, both, though they have got double O in both of the sounds, but it is longer sound in food, but it is not a longer sound in good. Like good food, good morning. All right. So that is the example. Number 3, it's a red fruit. What is it? Is it a red fruit? This is apple. Apple. And in apple, A is a schwa sound, so we need to be careful about pronouncing. It's not schwa sound, I'm sorry, it's a diphthong. Apple.
Apple.
Apple. It's about. In about, it is a schwa sound. So it is apple. Diphthong. I'm sure you know the meaning of diphthong. In English language or grammar, we call diphthongs are those words when there are two vowel sounds connected together and makes a bit longer sound. Apple in that case. Okay. Number 4, it's the name of a man who rides horses and works with cattle. Is it a cowboy, horse? Yes, a cowboy. First one is the correct answer. We say it's a cowboy. Number 5, with the hair on animal's neck, what is it? Is it cowboy, horse, farm, house, mane, tail, food, stable, apple, morning? So number 5, with the hair on animal's neck, what is it? Is mane. I've got less than 1 minute. Okay, number 4. It's a name for the man who rides horses and works within cattle. So it is the cowboy. Is the hair on animal's neck? What is it? Is the mane. Is hair on the back part of animal's body? Oh, I can't remember. What is it? Tail. Yes. All right, dear viewers. We're going to end our lessons in a few seconds. Thank you very much for watching. Remember that whatever you learn, try to practice it. Otherwise, you'll forget it very soon. Thank you very much, guys. See you later. You take care and bye.